my family, we say we came for COVID, we stayed for the war.
Oh, wow.
We went to Israel for the first time in November of 2020. We had never been before on a humanitarian approval. My grandma's a Holocaust survivor. She was about to turn 98 and had never met our kids, her great-grandchildren. And I was working in news in L.A., and can I give the quick backstory before I answer your question? And I was working in San Diego before the 3 years I was in L.A. for 16, 17 years, 3-time Emmy winner. I'm not trying to give my LinkedIn profile, I'm just out. I anchored news. This is what I did. My contract was up in Los Angeles, and the Lord was giving me and my wife this stirring that something big was coming. Have you ever had that before?
Sure.
Have you ever felt like, Lord, what's something was about to happen? Not fear, just a stirring. That's the best way we can describe it. And so, I was working for a news organization in LA, and I don't think I fit their mold. They would say, "Oh, Dan, we want you to say that abortion is a constitutional right." And I would say, I don't feel comfortable saying that. Well, why not? Because it's not in the Constitution. So you can see I was, when my contract came up, they said, "Dan, we love you. We love your 3 Emmys, but we're not renewing you. We're going to let you go." Okay. We prayed, we fasted, and God spoke to me on the third day of a prayer and fast. He said, "I'm sending you to Israel." We had plane tickets that we had already purchased before the pandemic so that go for the first time so our kids could meet their great-grandmother. And so I thought to myself, okay, Lord, I was driving at 3 a.m. listening to this message, and it was about Elijah, how the Lord was feeding him and nourishing him. Remember, he had just called fire down from heaven. Jezebel threatens him, and he runs. And I thought, great, we'll go on vacation. We called it, Bob, a sabbatical.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And the Lord spoke to me clearly. He said, "This is not a vacation. I am sending you." And so we called the consulate in Los Angeles. My wife, the Lord was speaking to her about Abraham and Sarah and following the pillar and following the cloud. And we just both felt this confirmation that we were to go. But we didn't know how we could go. The airport was closed. We didn't have a social security number in Israel. We had no way of getting there. The airport was closed. So we had a humanitarian approval that was granted 8 days before our plane took off to go.
To see your grandmother.
To see my grandmother. And so my grandma met her great-grandkids at her 98th birthday party.
Wow. I haven't heard job yet. So
yes.
So there was not a job that you knew of waiting for you.
Exactly.
But you knew God was doing something.
God was all over. So for the first 10 months that we were in Israel, we were living in Airbnbs from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem to the Sea of Galilee. We'd go to the Dead Sea. We were experiencing Israel like no one else had. And then connected with Newsmax. October 7th, this is the long way getting back to your question. Yes, a devastating, awful terror attack takes place. I'm a husband. I'm a father. We have kids. And it's more frightening than you even know. The images, and I know people have talked about it and seen it, and I know a lot of people have a fatigue about it. Even though, I get it, right? But I believe as Christians, you need to understand that it's a spiritual war that's going on there. My wife and our older daughter were caught November 1st in the rocket attack when Iran launched the, 181-2. My wife and daughter were caught in that, literally Iron Dome overhead. They missed the alert on their phones. They were crouched up next to a retaining wall outside a synagogue as Iron Dome was picking off missile after missile after missile. But the Lord brought us there. The Lord has been protecting us, is protecting us. I was in the first group of journalists that saw the October 7th massacre footage. Israel still needs our love and our support. That means your prayer. That means using the right language when we talk about, I say Judea and Samaria, the biblical proper way of describing what some people call the West Bank, Judea, Samaria. I call Hamas terrorists, not freedom fighters, militants, which is what you hear. They're not. Kafir Bibis, we just watched the funeral for this baby boy that was strangled to death, right? We just watched this funeral a few days ago. It's important, Christians, that we understand there's a commanded blessing in supporting Israel. Genesis 12. Don't you want to be a part of the blessing? I will bless those who bless Israel. I will curse those who curse it. I want to always be a part of that blessing. And I think as the church, as an evangelical, I'm a Jewish believer in Jesus, in Yeshua. We should be always wanting to support Israel, and so that we can be a part of the blessing and not on the opposite end of that, which is the curse.
Yeah.